It's strange, isn't it? We've had two teachers on the podcast tonight.
Yeah, that is quite weird, actually.
Here we are. It's the Groove Junction.
Hello, mate.
How you doing, pal?
Yeah, man, I'm good. You?
Can't complain.
Good.
Can't complain. Things have been all right. Here we are again. It's another episode of the Groove Junction. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for another weekly dose of the Groove Junction with me, DJ Matty F, and DJ John Colley, the JC himself.
Yeah, man.
All the way from the big smoke of Essex. It's a lot of smoke.
It's more smog than it.
It's more smoke. It's more the fact of the amount of vaping that you do. That's where that's coming from. But anyway, how are you, John? You're right.
Yeah, man, I'm really good. Yeah, I've had a good week and been busy.
You've been busy? What have you been up to, John? Tell me.
Well, I did a firework party.
Oh,
that was good.
that. Yeah, nice.
They've already put me up for another party. Loved it, so that was good. Then I did a 50th over in a little village, which was not so good.
In a little village?
Say no more. Yeah. And then Solid Disco with you, buddy.
Yes, we had the wonderful experience once again of being out together, sharing the stage in the old Edmondsbury Cathedral down in Bury St Edmunds.
I need to jump in. I need to apologise.
Oh, no.
I do need to apologise to you because I did kind of very closely knock you out on stage. So I do need to apologise. I know you said on the night it doesn't bother me. It's all right. It's all part of the show. But I did actually feel pretty bad because, I got a little bit too involved. So I do apologise.
No, I appreciate the apology.
However,
the bruises are slightly, they're there. They have been commented on. There has been a report that has been submitted to the local constabulary in Suffolk in relation to the abuse that I received whilst on stage. Physical abuse, I would say.
You did give it back to me, though. To be fair.
It was only in self-defence the second time.
It was an hour later. How could it be self-defence?
Yeah, okay, all right, granted. We do get a little bit, we do have a bit of energy when we're on stage, both of us. And, there's 3 DJs on stage and, we work in close proximities. And sometimes we forget that. And when we are really hyping things up, our arms do fray around a little bit, and you took a little bit of a left hook from me to the side of the noggin, and I also took a couple of whacks through the night. But that's part and parcel of the fun, John.
You know what? I mean, I know we've said it before. The shows that we put on, if I was in that crowd and I just saw 3 DJs standing up on the thing and just like pushing buttons, I'd be like, man, there's nothing there. But all 3 of us, well, all the DJs that I work with on this side of disco, they get lost in the music and they do show their excitement for it, and it does come across to the crowd.
Music's the winner, John.
It's always the winner.
Music's the winner when we do a silent disco. And we just love it. We enjoy it. But so we're out together again, which is great.
Good fun.
What did I also have? I had a 13th birthday party that I did. I'm just going to mention, actually, I am rocking the mirror ball right now.
You know what? I saw some pictures you sent over, and even though you didn't have any haze at that party,
no,
it looks fantastic.
Thanks, mate. I am the last couple of weeks now. Somebody asked me if I had a mirror ball, and I was like, yeah, I've not used it for a while, so I took it out at the request, and I've got the spots I use are they've got quite a bit of power behind them, and which helps. And I absolutely loving the spot and the effect. And it's such such a nice, easy looking effect to have, having that mirror ball going on. But everyone is commenting about it at the moment. And it'd be interesting to know if people, one, like the mirror ball effect, whether or not they use their mirror ball effect. Is it coming back? Is it not?
I think it is coming back, because I mean, I when I first started DJing, that was one of the first things I bought was a mirror ball.
When was that? 19 when?
Where the catalogue was in black and white. So
oh yes, there it was.
But no, I mean,
first edition mirror ball you got.
First edition. I mean, it was a small one, and it went out once or twice, and that was about it. And then it never got used, and I probably sold it or whatever. And now I notice that a lot more people, things have changed a lot. Lighting's changed. Now we're getting more light up the whole room, so more wash effects, more uplighters, that sort of thing around the room. And with the mirror ball, like you said, you don't have to have and that's the beauty with the mirror ball and you using your spots, is you don't have to have the mirror ball on all the time.
No.
You can have it on just for a little bit, and the uplighters do the rest of the work.
Yeah.
But then if you want to go full on party mode and use your spot, yeah, man, yeah.
It's good. I'm loving it at the moment, and I'll be interested to see if anyone puts anything in the comments in relation to the mirror ball and whether or not they think it's coming back in fashion. But another good weekend. Really good fun. And we've got another guest on this weekend.
You know what, right? When you said about this guest, I was like, who is he? Who is he?
Who is this bloke? Who is he?
Mate, I'll tell you, I'm so looking forward to this interview because we actually share we do share interest in like what we're going to be talking about, because...
Do we?
No, not me and you, me and him.
I was going to say, I've got no interest in you, mate.
That'd be harsh.
Well, like I said, you leave that door open, I'm going to walk through it and,
You walk through it and put your stamp on it straight away. You didn't even hang about.
I go 2-footed in with those conversations.
No, I'm looking forward to this interview. Really looking forward to this.
So, we've got another interview coming on, as always, something slightly different from our normal mobile DJing world that we operate in. Should we go to the interview now?
I don't know. Maybe we should go to the break.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm teeing you up for that. Shall we go to the interview?
Let's do that.
Okay, so I'll see you, John, after the break.
After the break.
So, welcome back. I just love that jingle, John. I just keep loving that jingle.
I reckon he's got to have to bring it out before Christmas.
You'd like to. We'll get an update from Brad, find out when he's actually going to drop the Groove Junction as a song. He might not even. He might just hold on to it.
I think we need to put a little bit of peer pressure onto it.
Well, I'm seeing him this weekend. I'll have a chat with him. Anyway, we got another guest. As I said, after the first half, I've got a guest who's coming on, who's kindly come on. This is something different, and I say that every week. Oh, we've got somebody different. No, we have, and that's the whole point of doing this podcast. We want to hear from different DJs, different people within the industry. And this guy is completely different. We are your bog standard mobile DJs doing our bits and pieces, John, and we cater for everything.
That's right.
However,
all rounders.
However, this guy is very much in the rock guitar era, and we're going to find out all about it. So please welcome to the Groove Junction this week's guest. Please welcome DJ Taylor.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad. How you too?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I can't answer for him because occasionally he's quite stroppy. So
I don't know what I've done to deserve that. I don't know what I've done to deserve that, John.
No, well, it's coming.
Oh, see, look, just give him any opportunity, like a slight door open for him to have a dig, and he's already there. Anyway, Taylor, this is all about you now because this is your interview, and we want to find out what you do, how you do it, when you do it, because I've known you a little while now, but you are very much you sit very much in the rock punk indie arena.
Yeah.
So just give us a backstory of when you first started DJing and why you chose to go down that genre of music, mate.
So it all started. I've always been in bands. That's pretty much the start of everything for me. So like 2013, 14, I was probably about 19, 20 years old. Made a band playing guitar with my friends. Got to a point just before COVID where we were doing all right, but it was around that point where DJing started for me as well. So like we just toured kind of Germany and the UK for the whatever time, like smashing into a car and having guitars all over your laps and everything. And it was around around the same time that we'd done this kind of Germany tour. This would have been 2019, I think, just before kind of the COVID came the year after. So it was the April before COVID. And yeah, so our label manager works with Uproar, which is a club in Birmingham, a rock club. And they were like, oh, we're looking for a DJ. We've had a few DJs leave. We're looking for a new DJ to start. I was like, I don't know the next thing about DJing. He was like, yeah, but you know the music, you know the scene, you've been around it. It was like, come and give it a go and they'll kind of teach you how to do it. And I went, did it on some CDJs, and then just kind of got the bug for it really from there. And then I was just DJing it there. I think within 2 months after starting, I did Download Festival at the in like the guest area, which looking back on it now is not as big as maybe some of the things I am doing. But back then I was like, oh my God, I'm at Download Festival. Like, this is incredible.
After 2 months? After 2 months?
After 2 months, yeah. So I'd literally, I think my first set with a DDJ and a laptop was in this guest area at Download. And I got paid absolutely nothing. I literally just got a free ticket for me and a free ticket for my brother. And I had to just DJ during the headline bands. So, I DJ'd just before and then just after the headline bands. So I got to like watch Slipknot and then go back and carry on for like a few hours after. And yeah, It was the same time I was doing my teacher training and stuff like that. So it was just like one big whirlwind. And then, yeah, I've just carried on DJing since then, really.
And you've pretty much stayed within that because obviously the
so
band...
like rock and indie's always been kind of a thing that has always been my niche. And I think I've always been slightly different in the rock scene because most of the clubs I've played at or started at we're rock and metal and that's where we stand. And I kind of went in and I was like, well, actually, Walk the Moon, I can't think of the song, these kind of songs that are a bit more poppy and have got these poppier elements, I was kind of putting them in, and these kind of indie songs that I thought they'll resonate with the rock scene. So like your Kasabians and the Kooks, and I know to most people they'll be like, oh, I'll play that every week, but in the rock scene it wasn't played as much. It was more your Blink-182s as behind me, and like you Bring Me the Horizons, and I was kind of trying to be like, well, actually these more mainstream kind of artists work in this scene as well. But I think that's where it kind of differs from then doing maybe the silent discos or other things where these songs are just popular and people are aware of them. I think in the rock scene sometimes,
aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I think in the rock scene they're a little bit more enclosed into, we want our niche, and it definitely doesn't get the best reception every time I've done it. And sometimes, you get booed, or I'll play Barbie Girl and some people will be like, oh, we get the humor of it, and some people will be like, what the hell is this guy doing? But yeah.
So these were the early days for you. So getting the balance from moving away from the band, or did the band still exist, or you were just then concentrating purely on the DJing side of things?
So the band still existed for that first year, and then we went into lockdown, and then everything kind of stopped. I kind of dabbled a little bit with kind of doing a few live streams here and there, but I still felt pretty new to DJing in general. During lockdown, the band ended because we were kind of at a point where we're at our best point just before lockdown. And then we're like, do we really want to start this all back up? And some of us had just gone into, myself, I'd just gone into full-time teaching. Some of the other members had just gone into more kind of committed jobs, whereas when we were kind of early 20s, we were all kind of doing jobs that were like, if this band kicked off, we'd leave our job in a heartbeat, and we were kind of just earning money to tour, really, and that was it. So it kind of became that thing of, right, the band's ended, I still enjoy music, so DJing's my main thing, so I kind of put more into that. Carried on with kind of Uproar, then started DJing in Wolverhampton at a club I used to go to as a kid, which is Planet, which again is another rock club. from there, just word of mouth, ended up doing some other kind of stuff. So in more mainstream kind of places, still, it was kind of these mainstream places that were like, we want to put on a monthly indie night or a monthly rock night. So even though on a weekend they might play your garage and stuff like that, they wanted to tap into this other market in the week and to kind of break it up a little bit. So then I kind of just started dabbling around really with different places.
Tell me what instrument you play.
So I
Josh,
played
in
guitar.
Lead, rhythm.
It was always rhythm back then. It's kind of a mix of both, really. I think with everything, everyone's now kind of like in bands that I played in, and when I play now, it's kind of you can jump between the two and work it between you, really.
And the band itself, was it covers or were you actually writing your own stuff?
No, we were fully originals.
Oh wow!
And yeah, so our biggest kind of feat, as you would, were we had a single just before lockdown, or maybe even before that, where we were featured on Radio 1, and that's where it premiered on the rock show with Daniel P. Carter. So that for us was like,
Right.
this is like, we're hitting,
We made it.
hitting it, yeah, literally.
We're there.
And then you look at your
We've
band and you're like, where's all the money?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
No, yeah, it was fully originals, and that's why it kind of always felt, I don't know, it was just always a nice feeling having people singing your own words back at you. Maybe not words I've written, but words and songs that we've written as a band, really.
Yeah. And you're still in contact with the band then, or?
Yeah, so the rest of the band made a new band called Cartoon Head, but it's pretty much the exact band that we were, but without me in it. They carried on, but it was because I was in full-time teaching, I just didn't want to carry on with that, really, and knowing that I was going to be DJing as well and kind of getting my music fix from there. But then kind of coming full circle, and I'm guessing it's where Matt's going to go, but I've kind of brought guitar world back into my DJing, really.
Right. I mean, I saw you did rock the guitar at the weekend. I did see that.
The
You didn't see
inflatable
that?
guitars, that was the best
Man,
I've
I'll tell
shredded
ya.
in a while.
You didn't even drop a note, mate. Didn't
Secondary
drop
to
a
Matt
note.
on that ego riser, though, to be honest.
So at the Silent Disco, we were all three of us were on stage at Bury St Edmunds, and we like to do a bit of audience participation sort of stuff, and we like to get involved. And the JC decided to bring 3 inflatable guitars down, and then when
colour matched
coloured
guitars.
match to the channels. See, a lot of thought went into that.
He did,
And then when Taylor decided that he was going to play the Journey, we jumped up with our guitars and did the old air guitar thrash.
Didn't stop believing.
And never stop believing. Never stop believing. And it went down an absolute storm, and always does. Always does.
You know what? I mean, we're slightly going off topic a little bit here, but it just goes to show that the 3 of us have to communicate on that stage, because obviously you and I, Matty, we weren't on the blue channel, so we had to switch over to the blue channel so we could hear what he was doing and what he was saying. But on the same time, we had to make sure that our own channels were still outputting our own stuff. So, it was, it's not just shredding a guitar, is it, Matty?
No. I mean, okay, yeah, and especially when you're standing on the box, because like me, I love an ego riser.
Yeah.
So you've started to go a little bit more mainstream with the DJing. Is that because there has been a bit of an uplift in relation to the indie music and the rock music sort of coming back into fashion a little bit more?
Possibly. It's I've kind of gone through the whole motion of I was trying to pick up as many residences as I could, and I used to do a weekly Friday and then kind of Saturday on a rotation with some of the DJs. I've kind of gone from that into now being I've got a few monthly residencies that I do, which are kind of indie orientated in kind of student heavy places. So one's in Nottingham and one's in Oxford on a Wednesday and a Friday, and named Indie Wednesdays and Indie Fridays. But yeah, I guess because they're monthly as well, they're more seen as an event that people want to go to, and not just a club that they're going to every month. Because they're at one of them's at O2 Academy. It's not somewhere that is typically just a club that they could go to every week. Obviously, people go there for gigs, but I think it's just more that kind of everyone's wanting events, and a little bit more kind of like with the silent discos, that kind of need. We go to this because it's a big thing. We don't just go there every week because the drinks are cheap or anything like that, really. But I think part of going a bit more mainstream as well is just looking for more sets, really, because again, I keep saying coming full circle, but I've gone from being a full-time teacher to now dropping to part-time and then relying on DJing to cover kind of the other part of my wage. Part of that is due to me just wanting to go a little bit more back into music, and part of that is because of where some of the kind of touring is going with some of the stuff that I'm doing.
Yeah, and that sort of leads me on to where you are currently. Is obviously we know you through the side of the disco side of stuff, but you for the last sort of end of last year this year isn't it really? It's really
kind of all started
a little bit
off,
last year.
Last year, yeah. It was around
Yeah,
August. I started with Silent Discos, and then September I started with Emo Fest.
So, and that's where I want to sort of go with the conversation is around the Emo Fest side of things. So, explain to people if they didn't know. Firstly, what is emo?
Emo is the way I think of emo is fringe, but that I used to have. It's pretty much the music that was the end of the 90s to probably 2010, around that kind of time. Your Paramores, your Linkin Parks, your Korn, if you want to go a little bit kind of heavier.
Oh, I love a bit of Korn.
Basically Kerrang and Scuzz. That's the way I could kind of, when Kerrang and Scuzz was on TV, anything that I get played on there is emo, really.
Yeah, okay. So there's obviously a company that's called Emo Fest, and they're going and doing tours around the country. And I know this year in particular, you're branching out abroad now this year. So tell me, before we get into sort of the dates and what you do within that, so tell me the structure of the tour. What does it consist of?
So a typical gig is myself and OK. We kind of play the music in the background as people are coming in. So straight away, it's not a typical gig where you go in and there's just music on as people are going to the bar. There is music on, obviously, but it's us actually mixing that music. It's not just an iPad that's being played while a band sets up or anything like that. We typically DJ for the first kind of 40 minutes, and then we'll do a kind of hype set just before the band come on. And I say the band because it is just one band, but they do two sets. So it's kind of, the whole idea behind it is there's no kind of stop. It's you come in and you get a drink out of that first kind of half an hour, and then it's just all guns blazing, and it's just, there's something going on at all points. There's no kind of, it's the support band, and now we've got 20 minutes, go, have a fag or whatever, and we'll change the drum kit over for the next band. It's kind of just, let's go and let's not stop. And that's typically they're from like 6 till 10 o'clock, so they're quite nice early finishes as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so we kind of play the songs, obviously not playing the songs the band are going to play, because it's all kind of kind of set what the band is playing. They're playing the same set, and then that'll change tour on tour. They come on and do an hour set. Again, confetti, balloons, all your kind of things going on.
Plastic air guitars.
Plastic air guitars are no. We did have when we first started, we did use the Guitar Hero guitars in these hype sets, and then we were kind of like, let's get rid of them. So they do an hour. How it was on the first tour was, again, me and OK would go back on, and we'd do a hype set again, throw some t-shirts out. That's progressed now because I play guitar and OK is a singer, into we do our own set now where everything's on a backing track. And again, it's all on the backing track so that there's no drum changeover.
Nice.
It just means that there's less people to get on stage. People are already familiar with who we are. So it's not like two random people are coming on and it's like, who's this support band that we weren't aware of?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, the DJs are coming back on. Some people kind of head off for a drink, and then our opening song Smells Like Teen Spirit. So often we pull people back in with that straight away, with that riff coming in. But yeah, we kind of play for about 45-ish minutes, give the band a break, because we would make the joke that we're all like elder emos, we're all getting a bit on now, we all need a bit of a break. They then come back on, do another hour set, and then that's typically the end. Some places have kind of asked for after parties, and then we'll stay and carry on with an after party. Some people, after 4 hours of music, are kind of done and want to go home, really.
Nice. So, there's loads of dates, and I'm going to read a few dates out, and we'll put them all in the description of this episode. But you're coming up. That you've got where are you? You've just done this weekend. You've got Leeds.
Yeah.
Then you're in Hull, Sheffield, Norwich at the end of the month. December, you're in Manchester, Nottingham, Shrewsbury, Brighton, Bristol. And then in February next year, you're off to Porto.
Yeah.
Wow.
So talk to me about the whole international European thing then.
So that's completely new for me. The first fly show I'd done was we went to Belfast probably about a month ago. And that's the first time I've kind of flown and then done a show. Unfortunately, we couldn't fly our guitars over, so it was back to us doing kind of a hype set and singing to a backing track without the guitar element in there, but still me bouncing around like an idiot pretending to play guitar, really. But yeah, I don't know, I'm just excited, really, and that's partly the reason why I've kind of gone part-time with the teaching, and kind of it's an opportunity I couldn't really not go for. A chance to kind of get paid to go abroad and do something that I love.
Yeah.
Money aside, it's just something I couldn't really turn down unless I was in like the worst place in the world and needed the money to keep going, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What do you teach?
I'm a PE teacher, a bit of a difference. I've taught maths I did maths for about 2 years as a second subject, and currently now I'm on music. So I do one lesson of music a week, and the rest is PE and sports studies.
Wow. All these other DJs, mate, all fit. I mean, look at Brad. He's like PT and all of that. And now, Josh Taylor here, he's like a PE. I mean, I'm not quite sure I fit in with this little demographic anymore.
Well, I wasn't going
to
to say anything, John, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, we talked about, how the stage tilted from one side to the other.
That was when Matt got off, so me and John were bouncing side to side. That was.
Yeah.
I was when I got off. I was in the middle, so it couldn't have been
that's
me.
when we're bouncing, we're moving side to side, filling the stage.
We had to put a clamp on the stage because of you, Matty. Well, because of us two. Yeah,
I'm sure
I was in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's funny you talk about the tour element to it, and I can resonate a little bit with that with the silent disco stuff, because it is a pleasure going around the country.
Yeah, definitely.
And going into these unbelievable venues. That's why they call them incredible. But going into some breathtaking venues, whether it's cathedrals, whether it's stately homes, wherever we go. And I from a silent disco perspective, but from the Emo Fest point of view, you're going into some big venues.
Yeah.
Some
one of my
them are
favourite
big.
things about it is kind of on this tour alone, for example, we've done Chinnery's in Southend, which is probably about 200 to 300 capacity, but you still have to bring that same energy. And then a few months later, we're in Manchester Academy 1, which is about 1,500 capacity.
Yeah.
And it's been fun just carrying the energy in different places and kind of engaging with the crowd in a different way. Obviously, we've not done Manchester yet, but we've done some places to about 1,000. Like Newcastle was a pretty big venue the other day.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun to be able to engage with the crowd in a different way. So it's kind of like your smaller venues. You still have to give that energy. Just because people are a lot closer to you doesn't mean that you can't. And I guess that transitions into silent discos and everything, because people are literally in your face, aren't they? Sometimes.
Yeah,
100%. And I was about to say that we the smallest numbers we do will be around about 500, 550, and then you're going up to 1,400. And I know next year we've got a very big one, which is going to be up to 2,000 people. So I totally get it, and I also get the international side of things, because funnily enough, on my timeline, this time last year we were in Belfast and Dublin doing silent discos. So and that was another great experience, going on a plane to go and gig in Belfast and in Dublin. And I get it, I totally get it, and I totally understand the reasons why you're doing what you're doing, because of that passion of music that is in all of us. You're slightly different because you came from that musician background, but are still following that through with this new phase, and I hope it continues for you into next year and onwards, really.
Oh, thank you.
So other than the Emo Fest stuff, what does the future look like for DJ Taylor in your world?
It's kind of at the minute booked with Emo Fest until I think the last booking is next June at the moment, because we've got Berlin booked in as well, which I don't know if that one's been put out there, but that's kind of on the cards as well. So there's more international dates. And then kind of carrying on with the monthly residencies. And then I've done a couple of weddings and stuff like that as I've been going. It's just now kind of starting that up so that I can get sort of bookings in for myself as well. To kind of use all the money from the weddings hasn't gone to me. It's just gone straight back into, right, can I buy extra lights? Can I buy a better booth? Can I get speakers or bins that are going to make the sound even bigger? So I just like reinvesting, and Adam saw me week to week about 6 months ago, and I'd have a different thing every single time. So it's kind of like, I bought wireless mics now. I bought this new case just to keep something in, and I'm always reinvesting stuff back in.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Taylor, I follow the same suit really. And where did you get that mic from? Oh, right, okay, send me the link. And then next week I'll turn up with it. But we're all like that. What I also want to ask you, in your opinion of this, is that within the mobile DJing world for events that we do, you get percussion players, you get sax players, you get all of this element to that. Have you ever thought about considering bringing that into your private side of things, in the sense of you're a musician by trade? Ultimately, that's what you love. Have you got the guitar at the back that you can play over the top of some of the tracks?
That's something I've considered. I've seen other people doing it. I don't quite know how the kind of DJing and playing at the same time would go, but something I have considered is kind of your wedding band side of things, where if I'm setting all the equipment up anyway and the speakers, setting a booth up with some decks behind isn't going to be as much of a setup, and then you can kind of sell it as a package. But that's kind of one thing that I've thought of.
So I'm going to put it out there. If you're looking to set up a new band, I know a very good drummer. Just saying.
I have heard.
Just saying. I don't know where I'd put the drum kit now with everything else that I've got going on. But
the roof box, trailer, van.
Yes, I'm going to start investing in the trailer. But yeah, let's get a band together. Let's do it.
Can I play the bass guitar?
No,
only if it's inflatable.
Well, to be fair, he's up in the loft at the moment. But
yeah, the reason I asked the question, because it's interesting, because there is people that want that for their events. They want something slightly different. Because of my drumming background, I've got an electronic drum pad that I've used many occasions when I've gone out and DJ'd. I don't do it as much anymore because I just want to concentrate on the DJing side of things rather than all of that additional stuff. But yeah, I was just interested to see what you thought about it.
I think I like the idea of it.
You could do like an acoustic sort of like while they're eating. You could do that, and then DJ in the evening. You could do something like so. There's something else.
I think the main part of it is obviously the DJing. I think if your song selection's not there, it's the night can go one way or another. But yeah, it's always something that's that can be put in. I just think I like the idea of a DJ and the performer, and I think that's where people you can be in front of the booth, whereas you're constantly running back and forward. There's always ideas there.
Hey, but during that wedding meal, acoustic set of covers. Whew.
Yep. Even just with no singing, because might get filled up.
Yep. Taylor Unplugged, they call it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for joining us, mate, for this little chat and giving us a little bit of insight into your world and Emo Fest and everything that goes with that. All the dates and details in relation to how you can go and watch or book onto seeing Emo Fest around the country, and even if you wanted to go over to Portugal, you can do that. I'm not too sure if that one's sold out or not, but there is some tickets still available for some of their shows the rest of this year into the beginning of next year. So go check the website out. It's all in the description below, John. All in the description below. Yeah, along the bottom there. Go and check that out. Taylor, thanks very much for joining us, mate.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me, mate. Yeah, good luck. It's a pleasure having you here, mate.
I hope we all cross paths soon as well with the silent disco stuff.
You never know.
Job.
Yeah, man.
You never know. Take care, buddy. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Welcome back, Johnny boy. I tell you what, another cracking little interview, that one.
What a lovely guy. What a lovely guy. Right.
Yeah, Taylor's a good lad. He knows that scene really, really well. And he's a great rock indie DJ for the silent disco stuff. And the emo stuff, if people haven't seen it, go, like I said, check out the description, go and have a look at the social media pages for Emo Fest. It looks an epic night. It really does look an epic night. And he's smashing it. He's smashing it in that.
The touring side of it, and the stuff he does with the silent disco, like you said, he's doing these rock clubs, and he's chucking in, walks like Rihanna and Walk the Moon and things like that. The poppy side of the like the rock indie sort of stuff. Most weddings or most parties, you will play Mr. Brightside, or you'll play Sex on Fire, or you'll play Wheatas or Teenage Dirtbag. You play them sort of stuff. But to these hardcore rockers who listen to Slipknot and Korn and, all of that, I can see that that's probably a bit alien to them, because it's like, what is this?
Yeah.
I mean, when he was talking about, Slipknot and Korn and all that, I was like, yeah, man, I know these people. I know what he's talking about.
I'm pleased you do. It's a little bit too heavy for me, to be fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Mind you, I mean, there's people, there's other sort of like grungy type of emo, like Youngblood. I mean, you must have heard of Youngblood.
Yes.
I did a party, and the girl there absolutely loves the guy. The playlist was pretty much Youngblood.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All night.
Quite a lot of it was, and I'm like, wow, man. Yeah. But there you go, So yeah.
Nice. Another good interview. And like I said, we've got people that just want to come on, have a chat with us, which is great. It's great to hear. And it's, when we had, James, DJ Josh James, 2 weeks ago now, saying that, he loves listening to it, to and from gigs. And that's, that's one of the big things. And to, like I said, and it always been the goal is to have different voices on here, different genres, different people from our area of business. And it's great to have that.
It's funny you say about, people saying, oh, they're listening to it on the way home from a gig. I was talking to my mate Scott Dewin the other day.
Scotty boy.
Oh, Scotty boy. And
did he break down again?
No, but he wasn't far from running out of fuel.
Say that boy.
So we had a little chat. He was driving to his venue. He said, right, he'd been listening to the podcast. It's really funny because Matt was talking, now you're phoning me sort of thing. So I said, oh, well, there you go. He said, thing is, I'm 40 minutes or 40 miles away from his venue. I've only got 60 miles worth of fuel.
Oh, my God.
So I said to him, listen, I will text you at midnight when I finish to remind you to get some fuel. Now, I haven't spoken to him since.
He's still stranded on the A14 somewhere.
I'm not sure if he actually got my text or if he got fuel. But
Scott, if you can get in touch with us and let us know you're safe and well, Scott, that'd be great. Because we're fairly worried about your well-being and safety as you're stranded on the A14. More so for your family, let them know that you're okay.
Go, Scott.
Yeah.
But so it's good that people are like, listening to it after their gigs and bits and pieces like that. So yeah.
And if you want to be a guest on the Groove Junction, just get in contact with John Colley, because no one contacts me. You can contact John on all of his social media pages.
Hold on. Let's rewind. Rewind a minute. You had an email from someone who listens to the podcast the other day.
I did.
Yeah, I got the same email, but
there you go. There we go.
But you got an email, so people do contact you, Matty.
Okay, I've had one. But yeah, you can contact John on any of his social media pages. Right, John is in charge because of his brawn, and he used to work the doors. He's in charge of the vetting requirements to come onto the show. And if you meet those vetting requirements, you never know. You may find a little introduction onto the show. So there you go. But nice chat with Taylor. It was great to have him on. And yeah, wish him all the best with Emo Fest, and especially next year going abroad.
Yeah,
international.
I would look forward to that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. speaking it up, yeah. Walk down. Yeah.
I mean, the furthest I've been is Canvey Island. So I mean, it's an island.
It's an island.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not go down that road.
No.
There's only one road in and one road out of Canvey Island. Anyway, too many jokes. There is. I don't know where I was going to go with the next conversation.
You know what? I mean, I'm sat out here doing the podcast and everything, and I don't know if you heard during the interview, the old Alexa went off. I don't know if you heard that, but telling me that, like, you know, my dinner's ready.
Okay.
Right. I'm not saying that we've got to wrap this up any quicker because I'll just.
I'm getting the message. You want to go now?
But it kind of leads me on to the other day. I decided to take Little Legs, Amelia, my eldest daughter. I decided to take her. What?
No, it's just the way you start with Little Leg.
She's always been Little Legs because she used to have little legs.
She's 22 years of age. You got to drop that.
Yeah,
she's a woman,
mate. But I can't go round calling her Gobbalot, can I? Oi, Gobby. I can't do that. So just call her Little Legs. It's a little bit nice. Anyway, Amelia, I took her up to Silent Disco's, Bury St Edmunds, and it was nice, you know, because normally when I go to a Silent Disco, I'll come round yours and we car share and all of that, but we didn't cross each other's paths for Bury St Edmunds, so
no, we didn't.
I took her with me, and we had a little chat in the car.
Did you?
Yeah, we had a little chat. It's probably the most we've spoken in ages. But we had a little chat, and take a look.
All right, I'll press play.
I'm just on a bit of a road trip to Bury St Edmunds, just about to do a Silent Disco with Matty F. And thought we'd do a little bit of content in the car. We're stuck in traffic, so thought we'd do a little bit of content. You'll see sitting next to me, Amelia. Amelia's my daughter. She's my eldest daughter. Now, one of the things that we have touched on in the past is obviously the mental health aspects of things. A lot of DJs have the support and the love from their families. Now, I've been DJing over 20 years. It's been hard at times, juggling your main job, the DJing, you know, and your family, juggling it all about. It's, you know, it has been hard at times. But being my eldest daughter, you know, we're gonna talk about the impact the DJing and the lifestyle, the nighttime industry lifestyle that I have, how that impacts on the family life, how it affects their mental health and that sort of thing, you know. So, you know, Amelia, you know, as I just said, you know, I've been DJing since she was about 1.5, 2 years old. So you've known me as a DJ pretty much your whole life.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about it? How do you feel about that? You know, because some people they say, oh, what does your mum and dad do for a living? And they go, oh, works in a hospital, or they're a bus driver, or, you know, they work for the police or whatever. You know, how do you know, if someone's asked you and they say, oh, dad's a DJ, how do you feel? How does that affect you, you know, being the daughter of a DJ? How does that work for you?
Well, first of all, off the bat, I just say you are a DJ, because your main job is quite technical and too many questions are asked about your main job. So I just go straight off the bat, you're a DJ. And then they're like, most of the time, the follow-up question is, how often do you actually see your dad? Yeah. And mostly from the colleagues I work with, like, do you ever see your dad, basically? And I go, yeah. Because obviously, I mean, dad knows pretty much everyone in the area, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
So like everyone knows who I am because of dad and vice versa. But yeah, so that question is a bit of a hard one to answer, because I see him often, but sometimes I come home for lunch during my work hour. He's in doing his main job, and then it's literally about a 45-minute switch around, isn't it, to see each other most days?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Unless it's a Sunday. But yeah, first off the bat, he's a DJ. Then I say, he does his own radio show.
We do kind of like two passing ships in the night. I mean, obviously, you being the age you are, you've got your own circle of friends and you've got your own social life. So, you know, there are times where you'll go out with your mates and you'll be in town, having a few drinks and cocktails and this, that, and the other. And I'll get a text message, oh, Dad, are you still working? Are you on your way home? Can you pick me up? Sort of thing. We've had that quite a few times, you know. I mean, you're a teacher at a primary school, so your job is quite demanding as well. And you've got, schedules and things that you've got to adhere to and everything. Obviously, you do your majorettes training as well of a weekend as well. And you've got your competitions and this, that, and the other. So it's very hard for us to kind of juggle stuff about. But are there any times or any examples you can give that where you get so frustrated to the point of like maybe being upset with the chosen career that I've taken? Is there anything like that at all?
I've got a daily one.
A daily one?
Yeah.
Oh, God dear, what's that?
Planning meals as a family. It gets on my nerves.
Yeah, it's a tough one, that one.
Yeah. So like I'm very much, I will plan my meals for the week. So I know what to have at lunch and it doesn't cross over much with dinner or whatnot. Because at the moment I only eat like lunch and dinner. So I get quite full anyway because of lunch. So like I'll ask mum and dad like, oh, should we have this? And dad's like, well, I'm not here. I'm so-and-so. But the main one is probably family holidays.
Yeah.
Because dad just books, obviously, because it's an income and all that. So it is very hard to be able to say, right, April 14th to 17th, we're going to go away. And he's like, well, I've got like 3 parties during that time. That is hard.
Yeah, it's very hard for me as well because, like, people ring me up and they ask me to, can I do their party for them? And then I look at my diary and I look at my family diary and there's nothing in the diary. So I'm like, yeah, I could do that. That's not a problem. Parties tend to be booked up many months in advance. Weddings tend to be booked up, a year, 18 months in advance. So, planning whether we're going away or whatever is sometimes hard. So I do get your frustration with that. And the meal thing, I get that as well. I mean, planning meals, that is tough because, I am out and I leave at sort of like 5 o'clock to go and do a party. So I can see how the frustration would get you on that one. I can see that. But with the holidays thing, I think that it's, we've just come back from Disneyland Paris. So I had a 3-day slot. I booked my family in, I had a 3-day slot where I had no parties before Halloween. So we went to Disneyland Paris, didn't we? But I get that. It's frustrating. But, and this is one of the things that I was saying, Matty and I have touched on before. If it wasn't for the support that we do get at home, as much as it's frustrating that I'm not about for dinner, I'm not about at weekends, and it's difficult to book a holiday, I get that it is frustrating. I do get that. But without the support of the family behind you, then it'll be very hard to do what we do, going out and DJing and this, that, and the other. Now, I love what I do. I love my main job and I love my DJing job, and I'm very passionate about my DJing job. And I think what's important, what I'm trying to say is that as much as the DJing is important and I love it, I don't love it more than I love my own family. I love my kids and all of that. It's important to make time for your family. Now, I know a couple of DJs have taken a step back from the DJing to concentrate on their families for one reason or another, whether they want holidays or they just had enough of DJing. So it's very important. It's nice earning the money. It's nice. It's lovely earning the money. You need to earn the money to do the holidays and get the nice clothes and the gadgets and this, that, and the other. But it's no good going out and then earning all that money if your family are like, see you later. You've got to make time for your family. And the meal thing, I mean, we've spoken about this before, picking up at McDonald's at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's not healthy, but it's a quick option. I think that we do need to think about what we're doing with the DJing, with the family, your meals and your mental health and all of that. And it is important. It is important. And I think that we do need to have a little step back, have a look at yourself and see what you're doing. I know I'm doing too much, but then my family also know that Easter, I am flat out Easter. I am flat out last 2 weeks of school in July. I'm flat out at Halloween, and I'm flat out at Christmas and New Year. They know that, and I've got the support from them that says, you know what, we know that he's got work. I've built this up from nothing. As I say, I used to go out and do literally 1 or 2 parties a year, and now I'm out 3, 4, 5 times a week. It's been built up from scratch. think my first controller was from Macklin's. I mean, that's how long I've been DJing. Macklin's, remember them? So, yeah, I think having a family with you, Mila's of that age now where she can come with me. She's 22 years old. It's not a problem. You know, I don't tend to take her to the other parties, or it's like, you know, where I don't know when they're doing a 40th, 50th or 60th. I don't take her to those. But events like this, and obviously you're there at the school discos that I do for your school and that as well, aren't you? So it's nice that you're at that age where I can take you with me. So we do spend a little bit of time. Do you ever get embarrassed by me? Well, you know, like the kids ones, because obviously I'm pretty full on with the kids. I mean, do you get embarrassed? Do you ever sort of like sometimes sit there and give it, oh my God, what is he doing?
Only when you do sound check.
Sound check, check 1, 2. You know what?
The only thing that gets me is that.
Hey, I'm not being funny, right? Oh, we DJs, we can only count to like 2 or 3. Check 1, 2, check, check. And then the other one, days of the week, we only know up to Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's pretty much our vocab. So sound check's embarrassing. I don't know why.
No, just is.
Okay, right. What I was waiting for is I'm really proud of you, Dad. That's what I was waiting for. I'm really proud of you, Dad.
Anyway.
Yeah, mate, I know that. No, I must admit, I love what I do, and I'm very fortunate to have a very supportive family. So, Matty, back to you, buddy. And again, Amelia, thanks ever so much for joining us on the Groove Junction.
Wow, John.
Isn't she lovely?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, yeah, totally. And yeah, I understand some of the points that she's probably trying to get across to you. It's stuff that we don't really think about because we're so focused on earning that additional money and other bits and pieces. But it just shows that, you know, they want to sit down and have dinner.
Yeah,
with us,
you know, I
and
mean, yeah, like you say, I mean, we're so wrapped up in what we're doing, but we kind of know, oh, I'm not going to be there for dinner, this and the other. But then when you actually hear it spoken out loud,
yeah,
you kind of think, right, okay, I need to make some time here.
was it tough listening to some of that from her point of view?
From her point of view, yeah, I think it was. You know, I think it is. Yeah, it is tough. It is tough on her because we don't really see each other that much, especially weekends. I'm out. I don't get back till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. She's in bed. You know, so I don't get to see her. You know, so the only saving grace for me in a way is that I work in my main job. I work from home, so I probably see her a little bit more now than what I did. You know, pre-lockdown.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite tough. Quite tough.
It's strange, isn't it? We've had 2 teachers on the podcast tonight.
Yeah, you know, yeah, that is quite weird actually when you think about it.
The 2 teachers and 2 DJs.
Yeah.
So obviously, whilst you were having your little chat with Amelia, not so little legs, 22 years of age, I got my little legs and had a chat with my little legs. Do you want to have a listen to my chat? I would say my little legs is 6 years of age, and the conversation was a lot shorter than your conversation. Play the tape.
Let's do it.
You're not ready to go on camera?
No, my hair isn't good yet. It was us.
Do you need to do your hair first then?
Did it?
Okay. Oh, beautiful. Right. So, I'll ask you some questions.
Yes. What is it?
Question number 1. Do you know Daddy is a DJ?
Yes, of course I do.
Oh, okay.
I've been to a DJ before, and Mum keeps saying, Daddy has to go to a DJ tonight.
Do you like me going off and doing DJ work?
Yes, because I like going on holiday.
Okay.
But I don't like when you go on budget, like the holidays.
You don't like it when I'm not here, but you do like the holidays that come from me not being here. If Daddy stopped it and stayed at home all the time, would you be bored?
Well, I would be happy a little bit because I do want you here.
Yeah.
And I do want to go on holiday.
Oh, okay. So it's a little bit, you don't know, do you? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever seen me DJing before?
Oh, yeah.
Where?
Because when we went to a friend's house.
You saw me at a friend's house DJing? Yes.
I was there too.
And was I good or was I bad?
Very good.
Oh, very good. Oh, that's nice to know. Last question I'm going to ask you is... do you like being on the Groove Junction? This is the second time you've been on the Groove Junction. Do you like being on the Groove Junction?
Comme ci, comme ça.
Comme ci, comme ça.
In French, like, I don't know, like, up or down.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
Comme ci, comme ça.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
So there you go. That's Willow.
Ain't she cute? Ain't she cute? I can't believe that.
She's sick.
Well, I can't believe it. I mean, I love the fact that, that she likes your DJing. That's a plus.
Yeah, and she loves a holiday.
Yeah.
John, she loves a holiday, and her French is getting very, very good at the age of 6.
Mate, that's all you can ask for, mate.
Listen, winning. But yeah, I listen. I get it. I understand. We do it because we enjoy it. We enjoy what we do. Any DJ out there will enjoy what we're doing. But it does take a toll on the family life. It does have that knock-on effect. That you are missing out on that quality time, but you do make up on it in different areas. It's a tough one. It's a tough balance to have. That I think, and even I've found that even more so this year and last year with the silent disco stuff, because I'm doing a lot more traveling around the country and doing it.
Yeah.
Which my wife is fully backs me in relation to that. But it does have a knock on effect from the kids' side of things.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's tough. I mean, and I think when you go on holiday, you have got to spend that quality time with them.
Yeah, just drown them in the pool normally.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all part of growing up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's character building, John. That's
exactly that. It's it, make you
Character.
more resilient. Love it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I get it. It's tough. It's tough for the kids because they want to see us, but they understand that there's pros and cons to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Interesting. And there's a nice little angle that you took in relation to having that chat, which then sparked me to having my chat with my 6-year-old, and yeah, it was quite fruitful as you saw. What you got coming up, mate? What's happening?
I've got a nice Q weekend. If I'm totally honest, I've
Love
got
that.
one 40th birthday on Saturday, which I'm looking forward to. It's only 20 minutes down the road. So, yeah, and that is pretty much it for this week for me. Yeah.
Nice.
That's
I've got we're Coventry Silent Disco Coventry Cathedral this Saturday.
Nice.
On the stage with me this weekend is Brad, who we've
Love
had on the show previously, and Sophie Lou, who we've
Hi, Sophie
also had on this show as well. So on stage with those two. Brad's on the Green Channel doing the chart, pop and dance stuff.
Nice.
Sophie's doing hip hop R&B.
Yep.
And I'm doing the rock and the indie. So I need to start getting into the Slipknot.
Yeah, man. Blink-182 and all that, mate. Do it.
I need to get into the head of a Taylor. Yeah. For this weekend in Coventry. But yeah, it should be a good gig. It's nice. It's a very large cathedral, Coventry, and we always go down quite well.
Good.
In Coventry.
You have a good one, mate. I really do.
Nice one, and we'll catch up again next week.
Can't wait.
Looking forward to it. Once again, thanks everybody for dropping into the Groove Junction this week for our 15th episode. We keep ticking along. We're ticking along. The numbers are going up. People are downloading the shows. People are commenting on the shows. If you haven't subscribed, do so on your normal podcast provider. You can also catch us on our YouTube page as well, The Groove Junction, and also our website, thegroovejunction.com. And we've got some exciting news coming up over the next few weeks in relation to The Groove Junction. I'm not going to tell anything else.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to give you. We've got some exciting news coming your way, hopefully before Christmas. If not, we will definitely be telling you in early 2025. Another great episode, my friend. Good seeing you.
And you, mate.
No worries, man.
Be lucky.
Hey, yeah, man. Take it easy. Have a good week.
And you. See you later.
Ciao.
Ciao.